Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere out there. My name is Brian Engelman, and today is Tuesday, December 9, 2025. And this right here, the show that you have found today. Well, that show, it is called, as I stall and look for all of my logos to appear, I think I'll find it. It is called Strictly Football, here on the new American media, because the old American media has failed you. On today's program, we are going to look back at week 14 on today's program. And then, of course, on Thursday at 3, what did we decide? 3 p.m. Actually, I got to double check the time with the guys, but Thursday we're going to do our preview and betting trends show, looking forward to the upcoming week. Of course, it is fantasy football playoff season. I hope you're doing well in that. To those of you who celebrate, we're going to welcome in Mike Bara, Jim Mitchell, and Ez'Ryel Robinson. Allegedly, his feed cut out, but we anticipate him coming back. All of that and more on today's program. That's Strictly Football. Thanks for joining us. Here we go.
Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour sports show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.
Thank you all for being here. This is Strictly Football. And this is Mike Bara.
Hello, hey, how's it going?
How you doing, Brian? How are you today?
I just had a vampire take some blood out of my arm, but other than that, I am in excellent shape.
I went to go see the doctor the other day, and all he did was take blood. Do not go see Dr. Acula.
Dr. Acula, yeah, that was a good one from the old Scrubs show. That was a good one.
I love it. Mitch Hedberg, one of the greatest comedians of all time. I miss him. So, Ez'Ryel Pickens. Hello, Ez'Ryel Pickens. How are you, sir?
I'm great.
Bro, your hair is getting taller by the day. You're looking like a mix between what do we got? Jimmy Butler. Who's got that tall hair these days? That is getting
I don't know, but don't get used to it, because once you get into the military,
yeah, exactly. It's gone.
Yeah. You know, I dated a girl, and her father told me, Brian, because he went bald, and he goes, if I knew I was going bald, I would have grown my hair to my ass. Just like have a heyday. Go for it. Have fun with it. Welcome back, Izzy. And let's go to Jim Mitchell. It says webcam utility. Hello, Jim. How are you? Is Jim there?
Yeah. I think Jim did something, but he was fine. Jim, why'd you change it?
Well, Mike might have to drive over and
I might have to drive over.
On some tech support again for 2 weeks in a row. Maybe send Jim a message real quick. Just tell him to reboot his system, because if it's going to be glitchy, it's going to be glitchy. I don't know what just occurred, but here let's pull Jim off to the side.
I'll just mute. I'll mute out it for a second and call.
Okay, gotcha. Izzy, what's up? All right, so. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, and let me see everybody in the chat. Hello, Droopy Dog, Lake Leon, and John. Thanks for being here, of course. Before we get into the actual games, while we give Mike a moment to talk to Jim and see if we can troubleshoot, Izzy, let me ask you this question. Talk about the injury front. Whoo, Danny Dimes, he's a goner, man. Ruptured Achilles. That happened to Tyrese Halliburton. It's happened to Deshaun Watson twice. What is with these Achilles injuries? And what is going on now? They brought in, they re-signed Phillip Rivers at 400 years old, right?
Yeah, the Achilles injuries is it's plaguing sports at the moment, especially basketball and basketball at the moment. But football seems to be getting its fair share. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of scientific research for the next couple of years because first it seemed like ACL was the main one, and then now it's Achilles, and it's like, what just happened? Why is it going from there to that? But it's just a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of playthrough, a lot of bang.
Yeah, it says webcam utility. We don't see your picture.
It's just a lot of I'm guessing use of the body. But yeah, Danny Dimes is out, unfortunately. He really wanted to play. I mean, he was playing on a broken leg.
I know.
A week and a half.
Talk about toughness. Baker's playing with one shoulder. Damn it, I've seen this 2 seasons now out of him. We'll get to that game in a second. Danny Dimes playing on a broken leg. But you know what they say a lot of times? I think that might have been the case with Deshaun Watson too. I think he had another lingering issue. And they say sometimes if you're overcompensating, you change how your body's landing and it leads to something like an Achilles.
Something else, yeah. Something that like your body's
twisted out of shape, and then it causes a second injury because you're overcompensating. So
yeah, Phillip Rivers, they just signed him to the practice squad a couple hours ago today. I'd be surprised because I've been keeping up with him and his family, and one of his sons, he's a top ranked quarterback in the country as a high schooler, and he has like 12, 13 children. It's pretty crazy, but he's older than his own head coach, and like I think 5 other head coaches in the league. And he's 44 years old, so that's pushing.
He'll be older than his coach. That's a neat stat. I like that. Yep. By the way, his offspring. Andrew, 2 years old. Anna, 6. Claire, 9. Rebecca, 11. Peter, 13. Sarah, 14. Gunnar, 16. Grace, 19. Caroline, 20. And Hallie, 23. That's a lot of kids.
Hallie's older than his oldest child is older than some of his teammates.
Oh, that's incredible.
Okay,
so he's older than his own head coach.
If you have 9 kids or 10 kids or whatever it is by the age of 44, you're not a family man. You're a weirdo, okay? Freaking weirdo. Who the hell has? Not even Mormon or Catholic or anything, and he's still just like, what's he doing? So I think this is a bad desperation move by the Colts.
Well, I mean, they're down to their 4th quarterback. Anthony Richardson is injured.
Riley Leonard, he's injured.
Riley Leonard is injured.
They're supposedly their current quarterback too, leading into possibly behind Phillip Rivers is Tyler Warren. He played some snaps in high school.
The tight end, the rookie Tyler Warren is.
I mean, he could do it. He showed us he could do everything. So maybe.
All right, I'm here for it. All right, well, welcome, Jim. Happy to have you, sir. Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you guys finally.
Yep.
Yeah,
we were discussing the injury to Danny Dimes and Phillip Rivers. Any thoughts on that one? I mean, I was a little surprised. I was sort of hoping Joe Flacco was going to negotiate a release, and then they could.
Yeah, I heard the catch and release for him, but
catch and release. Yeah, that would be cool.
Well, the Bengals aren't going to help an AFC team with their quarterback situation.
We helped them. I mean, it's all about Flacco.
Yeah, but the
Bengals aren't the Browns.
Also, you can't do that. I mean, that's against the league rules. So if they got caught doing that, making some backroom deal like, oh, well, next year we'll give you in the draft we'll give you a 6th for a 7th in 5 years or something if you release this guy. You can't make deals like that. It's against the rules. Of course, the NFL goes against the rules all the time, as we saw in the Baltimore game and the Raiders game.
Oh, that Baltimore game.
Fixed it.
Here, let's just maybe start going to the games. You said Baltimore. I'm super excited to actually talk about my Cleveland Browns with Shedeur Sanders. We'll get to that in a minute. But how about we do this? You brought up Baltimore. Well, let's give that a place to start. The ending of this game was pretty absurd. It upset me. I watched the play. It looked like it was a game-winning touchdown, a walk-off, maybe not walk-off, but the go-ahead touchdown. We'll start with you, Mike. You brought this up, so let's get your thoughts on this. What did you make of the end of this game?
It was a touchdown. It was clearly a touchdown.
By the
Everybody
way, for the people that
says,
didn't watch it, Mike, can you set them up on what the circumstance was?
well, yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly the circumstances. It was in the fourth quarter. It was near the end of the game. The Ravens needed a touchdown, and Lamar threw a touchdown pass to the Likely, the tight end, right? Isaiah Likely, or
Yes.
might be a receiver.
Number
And the
8.
guy caught it and took 2 steps. And as he was in the process of taking the 3rd step, the defender knocked his arm and knocked the ball out. It's still a touchdown. It's a freaking touchdown. He's in the end zone with 2 feet down, making football moves, and watching the refs, or watching these TV refs, these ex-refs like Gene Steratore and these guys cover for the NFL. Just, again, it's just so transparently unfair and wrong. Because, I mean, they used to say, well, what's a catch? Well, it's whatever 20 guys in the bar think is a catch. They used to say that should be the standard. Well, let me guarantee you, 999 out of 1,000 guys in the bar thought that was a touchdown catch. And they took it away anyway for whatever reason. We can speculate about lines. We can speculate about gambling. We're definitely going to do that later when we talk about the Raiders game. But here's another thing I hate to point out to people. After that, they're inside. They're down about the 10-yard line. 4th and 4, maybe it was. I don't remember. And Harbaugh, it's 27-22, and Harbaugh goes for it. No, you don't go for it in that situation with 4 or 5 minutes to play. You kick the field goal. It's 27-25. If your defense can stop them, you get the ball back, and all you need is a field goal. Well, their defense did stop the Steelers, and they got the ball back, but instead of needing a field goal, they then needed the touchdown. And that hurt them pretty much just as bad as the terrible call.
Look, Mike, I'll tell you, I'm going to get to the Browns game, but Kevin Stefanski going for the 2-point conversion both times instead of just kicking the extra point. That's why we didn't see overtime. It's the dumbest stuff. You've seen weird coaching moves all across the league.
Yeah.
Jim, what did you make of this one? Steelers get this tough win.
Yeah, this was the lead pipe lock of the week.
Yes.
Wasn't it? Yeah. Steelers were going to not necessarily win this game, as we talked about, but I felt confident as making it my number 1 bet of the week. And Steelers always play the Ravens. Yeah, what Mike said, there was a lot of shenanigans going on in the game. There was a lot of talk on sports talk on TV that, everybody was calling for Tomlin's head and all this stuff. And I think it was just a lot of smoke and mirrors. And a lot of the money went on the Ravens, and consequently, the stats that we had and the trends that we gave out last week said that the Steelers weren't necessarily going to win the game, but 5.5 was just too many points. And as a result, we cashed a ticket, and Mike cashed a ticket last week also. Mike was in the black, and I was in the black, and we just had good information on this game.
Izzy.
I just, Jim, I hate to be the cynical guy, but I'm getting more and more cynical all the time. The line is 5.5. If they give the Likely touchdown, then the Ravens win. People with Ravens tickets win. If Harbaugh kicks a field goal and then kicks a field goal, just a 1 field goal, the people betting on the Ravens win. So you combine those things that don't make a lot of sense. And Izzy, I'm suspicious, man. Am I being the nutty conspiracy theorist or what?
Nah, I agree. I woke up that day pretty late, but it was like 2 o'clock. I opened Instagram. I saw the play. I'm like, whoa, that's a touchdown. And they were like, they didn't call it that. I'm like, holy cow, like what's happening in the league at the moment with some of these calls? It's like blatantly obvious. So
Punting from the 28-yard line.
Yeah, and but yeah, I mean, credit to the Steelers, but in my opinion, I feel like Mike Tomlin is just getting carried by his current team, and to get where he's at right now, like it seems like. I mean, I said it before the season started. How many games can he go? He's probably going to have like an even record, one more, another winning record, but probably by a game. Everybody, oh yeah, Mike Tomlin's going to keep his job, and it's like it's just barely there. It's I don't know how much their playoff hopes are alive. They're what they are in the division, but Lamar Jackson hasn't been playing that good, but his own line hasn't been good either. But either way, yeah. I mean, the Pittsburgh they came out with it. So,
well, as far as Izzy, as far as the division goes, that was for the division. I mean, those
really?
two teams, they were 6-6. So now you look there on the screen, they're leading 7-6, and the Ravens dropped to 6-7 with only 4 games left. That was huge. That was a crippling loss. By the way, speaking of, I don't know, you said something. I had a segue in mind, but I lost it. But man, talk about not showing up. The Pittsburgh rushing attack, 15 yards rushing, led the entire Pittsburgh Steeler team. That's not something you're used to from Jerome Bettis, Le'Veon. I mean, you just keep going back with the Steelers over the decades. You think of really tough running games. 15 yards led their team. That's insanity. Derrick Henry puts in 94. And Keaton Mitchell had a really nice long run of 55. But yeah, Steelers, it's their division to lose at this point. It's not like the Browns are putting up much effort there. And I think let's maybe pivot over to that Browns game. We saw potentially the two, it was rumored to be the top 2 quarterbacks in last year's draft. Cam Ward. Some people were saying maybe Shedeur Sanders would go number 1. Turns out Cam Ward gets the pick. And this was a battle. This is now Shedeur's had a few starting efforts underneath his belt, but Mike, he did something that you've never seen before. 350 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and another touchdown rushing. Well, he's doing some stuff that no Browns players ever done, no Browns rookies done. It's giving a little bit of credence to the guy has arm talent. He has some pocket presence. He has elusivity. He's got the it factor. Yeah, we didn't win the game. It's a team sport, but man, we're seeing some. He made Jerry Jeudy look like an NFL receiver again. So, what do you make of this?
Yeah, first of all, it's sad. The Browns are sad. It's a factory of sadness. It's just sad in Ohio. But here's the thing. I just want to remind everybody on Seahawks Twitter that acts like I don't know what I'm talking about. Guess what? I told you Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in this draft, and the Seahawks should draft him. They had 4 or 5 opportunities. They took Jalen Milroe instead. Now, Jalen Milroe still has time to develop, but I felt like Sanders was the best talent in the draft among the quarterbacks. And I'm just going to say I feel vindicated. Having said that, he had a great game against one of the worst teams we've seen in the league in a long time. But every year there's a worse team in the league, and I'm not sure that the Titans are any worse than those other worst teams in the league. But look, I also rang the alarm bells about Cam Ward. I mean, he was the quarterback at Washington State near Seattle, where I used to live on the other side of the state, and I watched him play at least a dozen games before he went to Miami. And I never saw anything that said to me more than a 3rd or 4th round pick. Right now, supposedly he played way better at Miami, but I was always like, this guy's going number 1. I never saw it. I saw as a ceiling, I saw Tyrod Taylor, not Tyrod, but Tyrod, because his best seasons were when he was called Tyrod, not Tyrod. That was his ceiling from what I saw. So I think those are the stories coming out of the game. And the Browns, you're not good, but your situation in Cleveland is bad because the coaching staff does not want this quarterback. And you can tell by some of the plays they called, they didn't want him to succeed. I mean, they took the ball out of his hands on the 2-point conversion that would have tied the game. They took the ball out of his hands and ran a gadget play.
To be fair, the gadget play is called the Wild Dog, and with Quinshawn, they had some nice success. I don't like Stefanski at all, but I will defend him on that first 2 point, which I don't like the call.
No.
I don't like the choice to not kick it. I'll take a point.
I'm just gonna say I like Shedeur. I think he's got upside, but if you end up with the top pick and there's a quarterback there, you still got to take another one because you're not sure about Shedeur because you haven't seen enough of it yet. You can't. I think teams make a mistake. They put all their eggs in the quarterback basket that they just, what was the situation? The Bears, they had the number 1 overall pick. You got CJ Stroud, you got Anthony Richardson, you've got guys that had potential, and they trade the pick away instead of taking another quarterback because they had Justin Fields. So anyway, that's my thinking on the Browns. Izzy, you want to say something?
As he's chomping, we'll get to Jim in a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, the biggest thing from what I've seen from Shadur is like he has an arm talent. It's just some people online they were kind of bashing him. They were like, yeah, he had a good game, but how many of his yards were rack yards, like run after catch? And a lot of his yards were from his playmakers. But to defend him on that point, we've seen all year Kevin Stefanski drop, in my opinion, BS plays as an NFL head coach. Just some high school weird, just give it down, check it down, don't throw it deep. We saw with Dylan Gabriel, now he's doing it with Shadur, but Shadur's showing flashes that he could load it up, throw it deep. He can make these passes, but they're still limiting him. But he still found a way to ball out and have a pretty good game. Respectively, it is the Tennessee Titans, but it is the Cleveland Browns with Kevin Stefanski as your head coach. So, it's a weird thing because they say he's a starter for the rest of the season. And if he plays good, I still see them taking another quarterback, depending on what if they get a top 10 pick. I just don't know. The franchise doesn't want him, and it's kind of weird if they were to take a quarterback next year.
I don't know if I let me just offer a pushback to that franchise not wanting him. Out of the entire NFL, we're the only team that drafted him. We do want him.
I think the owner wants him. I don't think the coach wants him. Yeah.
But the fact is maybe he wasn't ready in week 1. And so it made sense to have Flacco to get some experience to learn how a vet handles the position and takes it seriously. You gave Dylan Gabriel a chance because he was a starter in college for like 6 years. Okay, he's technically more ready because he's had more starts under his belt. But yeah, Shadur probably has more raw talent that needs to be developed. I would just add, yes, I would have never gone for 2. I don't like this going for 2 thing when you're down by 14. Just take the points, force overtime. But had Quinshon Judkins tossed that ball to the player coming around, he would have walked blindfolded.
Still, in my opinion, I don't believe you should do that.
Touchdown. It was an easy. It was a gimmicky call, but like it's called the wild dog. It's like a variation of Quinshon. Who's maybe
it doesn't matter what it's called. At the end of the day, in my opinion, you don't do that with the game on the line. You keep it in the quarterback's hands and make a play.
Exactly. You don't
put it in your running back's hands and do a trick toss flippity do play after you go down back 160 yards in 2 drives to try to tie the game. But I mean, it's whatever. And then Kevin Stefanski, he still has a job. So the Browns, in my opinion, I don't know what they're doing at this point.
Yeah.
So
if they really believed in him, they put the ball in his hands on the biggest play of the game. That's
exactly. I mean, that's what your quarterback's for. You trust in him.
Right.
They didn't do that.
What you got. That's the only way you're going to find out what you got is if you give him a chance. The other thing is, the point you made about the run after the catch stuff. Peyton Manning in like 2014 or 2012 or something broke the all-time record for passing touchdowns with 50. Okay. I think 5 of them, if I recall correctly, were shovel passes. The shovel pass is not a pass. It's a handoff. It's a forward pitch. It's not a – so that, again, that's a BS record. So you can say that all you want, but the bottom line is Shadur did some shit out there that hasn't been done. 354 yards?
364, 3 touchdowns in the air, and another on the ground.
Yeah, and you don't do that if you suck. You don't do that if you suck.
100%.
Did I miss part of this conversation? But don't the Browns have a top 5 defense, Brian? Yeah. Where are they rated? In 32 football teams.
All right. I noticed something right away.
I'll check.
What they seem to be doing, they had Myles Garrett this far lined up. He was so far wide trying to get his sacks. I mean, we were getting absolutely torched by Tony Pollard. Like we were getting ran upon. Myles can get hung up in that where he's focused on the wrong things. He'll lose containment. He'll over pursue in trying to get a sack, which is great, but not if you're losing your assignments. And I don't know what the Browns' assignments were. I don't know where the adjustments were defensively. Giving up 20, what did we give up? 31.
Yeah.
So the Titans, that's inexcusable, Jim.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if the Browns offense can put up 29 points
that should be
in a game where the over-under opened at 33.5 and it stayed at 33.5 all week. And by the way, that was the lowest total all week. They should win the football game if they put up 29. But they allow the other team to put up 31. you're pretty much doubling the over-under as to what this game should actually be. And from everything I've read, the Browns have at least a top 10 defense. They should be, and the Titans are in the basement as far as an overall football team. If you can't stop them from scoring 31 points, it's on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
The offensive side of the ball for the Browns did their job.
Jim, they say that the Browns are a top 5 defense. They're second in defense in yards. Yards is fucking useless to me in terms of evaluating the defense. In scoring defense, they're 17th. So they give up 23 points a game.
Middle of the pack.
They're not that great. Some of those can be special team scores counted. So it's the middle of the pack defense. In terms
by the way, a lot of those are special teams. A lot of those are, and by the way, a lot of those were the offense screwing up and giving the other team first and goal, or first and 10 at the 15. So like automatic points on the board because of the other team screwing up. So
Brian, you lost your camera. You want me to come over there and fix it for you?
Yeah, please do. Please do. I will add this though, in the pantheon of what you're rooting for, if you're a Cleveland sports fan, you want to see steps forward from Shedeur Sanders. I think each start that he's had, we've seen different looks. We've seen growth. He's not making a ton of stupid mistakes. He threw an interception. Okay. But compared to creating 4 touchdowns, you sort of take that. That's an 80% success rate.
Yeah, that's what you do with talented guys. You let them get the reps.
Let them rip.
Figure it out.
At this point in the season, when we're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, you want to see development and you want to lose so that you maintain your high draft position. And here's the problem with the Browns. We want to go out and get Mendoza. I'll tell you what, he looked pretty damn good against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, I'll take the Buckeyes. If you play 2 games in a row, I'll take the Buckeyes for the other 9. But, there's a rumor. Maybe Cignetti and Mendoza come in to coach and lead the quarterback position with the Browns next year. I don't know. But, you want to maintain the draft standings. The Browns have 0 offensive linemen signed for next year. 0. We have old people, we have injured people, and we have underperforming people. That is a shitty combination, guys. So we have a lot of teams, a lot of positional needs on this squad. That's for sure. Where's that? Because we're going to miss the playoffs.
Playoffs?
Don't talk about playoffs.
Well,
you kidding me?
No.
Playoffs?
I was, yeah. The playoffs. I'm just hoping we can win a game.
Well, I think you're going to be drafting some offensive linemen this year, then.
Yep.
And a wide receiver 1. I mean, Carnell Tate and an offensive lineman in the first round.
How about a wide receiver 4?
We'll get to that too. Hey, let me show you guys this since Mike brought this up. If you're not aware, Mike did call the Cleveland Browns a factory of sadness, and this is where that stems from.
Hey, Browns.
This is Mike Polk Jr. yelling at the Cleveland Browns Stadium.
Hey, Browns. Mike Polk, season ticket holder. Killer game in Houston today. Well, thank God we built you. What a blessing for the community. You are wasting valuable space on our majestic shoreline, and what do we get out of it from you? 10 miserable games a year, including 2 preseason games that I have to pay for, and 1 shitty Kenny Chesney concert. Do you understand that it is actually statistically harder for a team to be this consistently bad than it is for them to occasionally accidentally be good? The probability is staggering. Did you happen to see that Packers-Chargers game today? It's like they're playing a different sport than you are. And here's what you have to understand. We don't even expect you to be good. We just want you to be watchable. Do you have any idea how low our expectations are? We don't expect you to win the Super Bowl. We just want you to look better than a Division III high school team. And listen, I know that there are way more important things in life than football, but you are supposed to be our pleasant distraction from those things. But all we do is pay you money to put us in a bad mood every week. You are a factory of sadness! I'll see you Sunday.
You are a factory of sadness. I'll see you Sunday.
That sums it up. That's about it.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I was impressed with Mendoza. Maybe when we're done with the NFL games, quick thoughts on anything NCAA.
Okay, so let's have the get out question here. Do we all agree that Shedeur should start the rest of the games to see what they've got in
Kevin
here?
Yeah,
Stefanski
100%.
did
I think
say-
they said they were doing that.
Kevin Stefanski did tell Mary Kay
Mary Kay Cabot.
Cabot.
Thank you, Mary Kay Cabot. She has a fake account. Someone on Twitter goes by Mary Kay Cabbage. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, he told Mary Kay Cabot that Shedeur will be our starter the rest of the year. Obviously,
She sells cosmetics in the offseason.
Mary Kay, exactly. Yeah, he's going to be the starter, thankfully.
Okay.
So we've got that going for us, which is nice. We already saw what we need to see out of Dylan Gabriel. There's nothing worth seeing there. We kind of get.
I hope he kept the MIL money. I hope he kept all the money from that long college career.
Exactly.
Invested it wisely.
I mean, he's a third-round pick. He's got a couple million sitting there. You know, he could be a journeyman. He's a smart player. He didn't make tons of mistakes. He's just
Dylan,
scared to go deep. And maybe that was the coach scaring him.
I don't think he's
Buy
scared to
XRP.
go deep. I don't think he can go deep.
Buy XRP.
I watched him go deep with Oregon.
Buy XRP.
Yeah, look at who he's throwing to.
You won't be disappointed if you invest in XRP. All right, moving on.
All right.
Oh, I got some XRP. I got a bunch of XRP. I've been hodling that for a long time.
No,
Izzy, you got any XRP, Jim?
No, I don't know what that is. Y'all got to tell me. I'm getting paid in a couple of days, so I'm thinking about investing some of my money. So
Yeah, start a Coinbase account and just put a couple of things in there.
I've got a lot of gold and silver. When I retired, I rolled my IRA into gold and silver, and it's my IRA. I had deferred comp on the job where they had non-taxable dollars taken out of my paycheck. It all went into gold and silver when I retired, and I've tripled my deferred comp. So
Now, these are precious metal mutual funds or actual tangible assets that can't be pulled out from underneath?
it's in a vault. I can cash it out anytime after age. So what is it? 72 and a half now.
Yeah, so you can cash it out anytime, right?
Well, you have to, otherwise you get penalized by.
Oh yeah, they do forced withdrawals at a certain age. That's right.
Yeah,
Izzy, XRP is a cryptocurrency. They got caught up in like a whole Ripple thing or something, Mike, and it was like grayed out for several years, and then it popped, and then it doubled, and it's still sitting there, but kind of waiting for it to spring, Mike.
Dave Bara tried to sell me some XRP 2 months ago.
Yeah, it will be the keystone of the new financial system when it comes in, so you will make good money on it. But yeah, Jim, with silver up over $60 today, you got to be happy about this.
It's over 60 today.
Yeah, strictly.
It was 41 last night. It went up to 60.
No, it was 51.
Silver is now over 60. Yeah. So, okay, moving on from strictly.
Hey, you did it, Mike. You did it, Mike. But Izzy, get some. We'll talk about getting some crypto. Get a Coinbase account, and we'll talk to you offline about that.
Right.
Mike. Well, actually, we'll wait on Mike. We'll get right to Izzy since this is his team, and then we'll get back to the regular rotation here. Cowboys, Lions. Doggone it, buddy. I'm sorry. You're not officially eliminated, but this was a brutal loss.
yeah, I was expecting at least one loss from those three teams in a row. Like you said, the Lions, they don't lose 2 games in a row, and that's still stuck up there. But generally, it wasn't a bad game by Dak Prescott and himself. It was a lot of self-inflicted wounds. It was like the whole first half. We get a penalty and it'd be 2nd and 20, like the whole first half.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to cook something up. George Pickens is showing signs of a little bit of his Steelers self with some offensive plays that are just questionable. Like, why are you doing that? But at the same time, the refs did call a crazy call. Jake Ferguson, offensive pass interference when there's 2 guys on him. Makes no sense. I don't know what that call was. A lot of people, they were like, holy cow, what are the refs calling right there? There's no way in hell he could have got pass interference right there. But I mean, it's whatever. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, he's really darn good. And our DBs, they were just getting fried all game. And we put up the points. I mean, we put up the points that as much as we self-inflicted, gave ourselves penalties, we put up the points to combat them. But our defense is still showing signs of a need of improvement in certain places. Kenneth Murray, it's a cool stat. Demarion Overshown, even though we traded for Logan Wilson, Kenneth Murray, he's been on the field. And if you watch some of these videos, some people will be like, oh my God, Kenneth Murray, he's back out there. And he's just in my opinion, the worst linebacker in the league. So that's a big thing. Just the tiniest, simplest, fundamental things that you could do. He misses it at an NFL level, and that led the game for Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra just to own the middle of the field. So, I mean, it's tough game. I'm not mad at all about it, to be honest.
Jim, you were holding something up. I'll go to you. We're all out of order now. Now we're passing the blunt, way out of rotation here. But Jim, go next.
The Cowboys are going to come back with a vengeance. It's that trend that we've been tracking, that good to excellent teams, if they get beat that week, the following week they're going to come back with a vengeance and just tear up whoever they play next. Well, looky. Balls on hooky. They've got the Vikings coming into town. So,
Nine.
That's a slump buster for you. All right.
Yeah, I haven't checked the line, but it was 6.5 last night, and in favor of the Cowboys. So we'll run up Boyd Sports right now, and they're the Cowboys are going to just destroy the Vikings.
Hopefully, I was going to say, my bad for cutting you off, but I was going to say the biggest question is if Justin Jefferson has balls out, because the DBs for the Cowboys, they're not all there, so there's a chance that out of nowhere Justin Jefferson decides to turn back into himself again. So
Jefferson is killing me in my fantasy league. He's putting up like 4 points. I need like 40 out of him, 30, 20.
Start him this week.
Oh my God, this is the playoff season for fantasy football. I missed the playoffs in 2 leagues. I'm in it in 2 leagues. I need my guys, man.
Just to comment what Mr. Robinson said. The Lions. I mean, they were up against a loggerhead going into Detroit. It's like Izzy said, Lions 15-0 straight up after a loss. How can you bet against that? 13-1 against the spread after a loss. So it's what Izzy said is correct. The Lions don't lose 2 games in a row. They just don't. But teams, good football teams, and the Cowboys are a good football team this year, will smear the team that comes into their house the next week. So I think this is going to be probably my second best pick of the week, is taking the Cowboys at home and giving the 6.5. Not on the money line. I'll give the 6.5 because they're going to win by at least 2 touchdowns.
Oh, that's confidence.
So Mike, in this game, did you see it more of like the 2 interceptions from Dak Prescott and the Cowboys' failure?
It wasn't even his fault. The receiver, it's the receiver.
You blame it on those.
Yeah, but receiver catches it, ball comes out, interception.
And by the way, I'll raise my hand and say I think that wide receivers should be given interceptions and not to quarterbacks. If there's a way to correct that stat, I watched Baker throw it to Cade Otton. He got it right here in his chest. He went bop, 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 handed it to the other guy. Baker gets an interception 2 games ago.
Yeah. Well, after this, if you have a chance to look up Kenneth Murray, what week is this? Week 14 highlights. Go there, you'd be like, holy cow, this guy just sold the game for the Cowboys. Just
Izzy popped out. But Mike, I was asking, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs with 3 touchdowns. The guy is a beast. Did the Lions win this or did the Cowboys lose it?
The Lions won it, and the Cowboys defense just couldn't stop them. Every time they got it back close, the Lions came right back down and scored again. And that's the way I looked at this. They just were too good offensively for the Cowboys defense. And so that defense, which had improved quite a bit, really fell on its face against the Lions on Sunday. Or whenever it was Thursday. It was kind of pathetic to watch. So,
well, let's stay with you, Mike. This is your team, the 10-3 Seattle. Bravo, you and Jim. Bravo. I'm happy that you're happy. You're 10-3. That's pretty good. You whooped on the Atlanta Cousinses. 37-9. What were the takeaways in this game? Sam Darnold 3 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins threw 2 picks to no touchdowns over there. Jackson Smith getting it done again, of course.
Well, a guy I'd really like to have on their team is obviously Bijan Robinson. Is a fantastic running back. He's their main thing. Tyler Algier is also really good, but this is a typical game. This is a very common West Coast team playing at 10 a.m. on their body clocks in an Eastern time zone. You got to give your team a couple of days to get used to that East Coast time zone thing. If I don't know what the Seahawks travel schedule was, but if they flew in on Saturday and they play the game on Sunday, it's guaranteed you're going to start sluggish. Slow first half, very sluggish. Never felt like they were really in any danger, but that's a 10 a.m. start for a West Coast team. And what happens usually is in the second half, they wake up. The second half usually starts around noon. Players are more awake. Their body clocks are more focused. They stop making the mental mistakes. And what you saw in the second half was complete, absolute dominance by a vastly superior team. They came out and outscored them 31-3, I believe, in that second half. And, it was all deserved. It was all – that's really what the game would have gone like if it had been played at 1 Pacific instead of 10 a.m. Pacific. So that's the way I looked at it. And the Seahawks defense, the only guy I would like to add to this is if I could get Max Crosby, I'd add it. But, I don't want anybody else's safeties. I don't want anybody else's linebackers. I don't want anybody else's defensive line. I would like Max Crosby or Myles Garrett to add to this defense. I think it would be an all-time great defense. It's fantastic the way Mike McDonald has him coached. And there's a rookie named Nick Imanwori that most of you guys don't know about that they traded up for in the second round. I was against it. I was wrong. He is a fantastic player. He's going to be in that Kyle Hamilton type conversation. This guy's a fantastic player. He was all over the field. Secondary is fantastic. This is a championship winning defense. And the only thing that can keep this team from the Super Bowl is going to be if Sam Darnold has another meltdown, because everything else is there. The running game, not that effective. The Falcons stacked it. And so in the second half, the Seahawks said, okay, we're just going to throw over the top of you. And that's what they did. And
Nicky Manwari, he's getting a little bit of play for Defensive Player of the Year. I think it's Carson Schlesinger, but he's coming on. He's having incredible.
Certainly, I think he ranks right up there at this point. And so this is the kind of game. This is the kind of game that the Seahawks lost in the Mike Holmgren era and the Chuck Knox era. But in the Mike McDonald, Pete Carroll era, they've done much better playing at these 10 a.m. games. But what you got to do with these games is you got to slog through the first half, wait till your team wakes up, and come out and take control in the second half. That's exactly what they did. And people are like, yeah, it's only the Falcons. But here's the thing. I'm going to say the same thing about the Rams. Teams that are championship teams, that are Super Bowl contenders, they go on the road and they beat the shit out of other teams like the Seahawks did on Sunday. So did the Rams. But this is what good teams do to bad teams when they're championship caliber. And I'm excited. I mean, I've been as excited since 2013, Jim. How about you?
Wow, going back to Chuck Knox. Ground Chuck, huh? Yeah. Ground Chuck. What, Allie Sherman didn't want none of that, Mike?
Yeah, no.
Well, if we're speaking of Knox and we were talking about gold, how about Fort Knox? Where's the audit? Anyway, let's stay on top.
Where's the gold in Fort Knox?
I thought there was an audit going to happen in my backyard. I was talking to Kayleigh McEnany. No, not Kayleigh McEnany. Who's the other, the press secretary? I'm forgetting her name. I was like, yeah, I want to be there at Fort Knox. I want to do I want to be a part of that audit process. But
there you go.
Jim, this is an exciting team, like Mike was saying.
Yeah, the number didn't make sense in this game. I mean, it opened Seahawks 7.5, and it was bet down to 6.5.
Yeah, I got 8.5 when I went.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It opened at 8.5, and Mike felt duped, because I texted him and said, "Oh, it just went to 6.5," and I got a 4-letter word, back right after I let him know that. But and it was the same. It was the same race sports book that Mike and I both bet, So, the number moved two digits, which did not make any sense because, the Seahawks have just been great against the spread. I mean, their last 11, 12 games, I mean, they're 10-3 against the spread on the road. They're a great spread team. And what Mike says is a lot of truth. I mean, good football teams, Super Bowl caliber football teams will go across the country. They'll travel 3,500 miles, and they will beat the shit out of that team that they're playing, especially, the Cousins. You know, and you know, we said this, or I said at the beginning of the season, Atlanta's not a good football team, and they're not going to be a good football team this year. Pretty much we all agreed with that. But you know, the over/under on this game was 44.5. You know, the game ended. The score was 37 to 9, and you know, just tells you Vegas knows a little bit about these games.
Yeah,
got to 46. Izzy.
Yeah, when I tuned in, my phone overheated, but when I tuned in, I heard you guys talking about Nick Emenwari. I was hoping the Cowboys picked him up. That guy is a physical monster. I think he's like 6'3". He ran like a 4.43 broad jump. He just blew up the combine. He just showed that he could be a difference maker on the field. But yeah, that guy is a monster. Give him like 4 more years, he'll be coming all pro 100%.
The thing is, I saw some college tape of him in big games against Alabama and LSU, and he looked lost out there. And I said, God, I don't want this guy. I want Xavier Watts, who's a really good player for the Falcons.
Xavier Watts, yeah.
I want him about pick 50. Really smart, intelligent player, great instincts. But I'll tell you what, I think this show. I didn't think that Emenwari had it. And I'll tell you what this shows me. It shows me what a great coach, defensive coach, Mike McDonald is, because he's just gotten the max out of this guy. I thought, oh great, another Cam Chancellor, you know, but he's, you know, if he gets in the right circumstances. But man, the guy just. He doesn't make any mistakes out there either. That's the other thing.
Yeah. It's just some coaches, they just know the right thing to do. Like when we had Dan Quinn, and dang, I can't think of the cornerback coach that we had, but we just released them. Our corners, what was it, back-to-back years? Trayvon Diggs led the league in interceptions, pick sixes, got injured. Deron Bland stepped up and did the same thing, and it's like we don't got those guys no more. And look how they're playing right now. So coaches is a big factor. But yeah, the Falcons are. Trash. I mean, they got Bijan Robinson. That's about it. I mean, that's all you could get out of them. And then the Seahawks.
They got a good running game. And they got some weapons. But
I mean, depending on how the coach calls the plays, it's like 37-9 is not good for what your team looks on paper. I'll say it every week. But hey, congrats to the Seahawks. That's an awesome win, moving to 10-3. There, I mean, they're looking real good. Sam Darnold. It's a pretty good team.
Izzy, are any of these the coaches you're thinking of? I asked Grok.
Al Harris. There we go. Al Harris.
Al Harris. And what were you saying about Al Harris?
He was our DB coach, I believe. Yeah. He was really good. He was the dude who, like I said, Trayvon Diggs 1 year, all those picks, gets injured. Deron Bland. I didn't even know who Deron Bland really was, and then he stepped up, did the same exact thing. I'm like, oh wow, like he's tough. And then after the last year, we fired literally almost everybody, and he went out the door too. So
is that the same Al Harris that cost the Seahawks a trip to the Super Bowl?
He was a great player as a corner. He really was a smart player, and that's translating into his coaching then.
Packers, Green Bay.
Yeah, we want the ball, and we're going to.
We want the ball. We're gonna win. We're gonna win the game. And Hasselbeck throws it to Al Harris.
Right to Al Harris.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was an epic move.
Yeah, up, and Harris just ran it. He tight roped the sideline and ran right up the field.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, all right. Let's bounce over to this game. You know, with the AFC North being so garbage, I mean, the Bengals had a shot at 4-8. You know, you could run the table and go 9-8, and in a Tomlin-led division, 9-8 might get you there, and it'll go down to tiebreakers, perhaps. Bengals had this game. They had this game, and Buffalo put on 28 points in the second half. Buffalo wins and improves to 9-4 on the year. Mike, Buffalo Bills, they're starting to warm up. They've had some glitches this year, and I'll tell you what, man, Joe Burrow and the Bengals gave them a real good run for their money in this game. And a fun game in the snow. I love snow.
Yeah. Yeah, we had that on the corner TV, watching it out of the corner of our eye. The Bengals are a different team with Joe Burrow, what might have been, but he does get hurt a lot. So they got to decide what they're going to do going forward with that. I think given their receivers, they got to keep playing Joe Burrow as long as they can. But if you'd like to trade him, I know a team that should grab him. But in the end, they got Josh Allen. Josh Allen is an extraordinary physical specimen. Like I don't know that we've ever seen in this league before. He's like he's like a linebacker playing quarterback, but or a safety. It's like Ronnie Lott. I mean, he's also a giant. He's a freaking Anunnaki out there. He just runs over people. And they got Josh Allen. Their defense is playing better, the Bengals, but they just got run over by the most extraordinary physical specimen at quarterback in the league right now. Nothing they could do about it. He just beat you. Josh Allen beat you in the fourth quarter. Period.
Yes. Let's go to Jim. I mean, this was a teeter-totter game. I was watching it. I was keeping my eyes on it, watching for Jamar Chase, and because he's in both of my fantasy leagues, and I can't believe they blew this one. I mean, I don't know that they blew it so much as the Bills came back and they are the superior team and they took what was theirs. But I was a little shocked to see it. Were you shocked at the result?
No, not really. This was my third best play of the week. I had bet 4 straight bets, which are single team tickets. No, five single team tickets. And this was my third best pick of the week. Even though the Bills are now 16-1 straight up at home, they going into this game, they were 0-4 straight up against the Bengals. They hadn't beaten the Bengals in the last 4 meetings. And watching the first half of this game, I'm cashing a ticket, but then I go on to continue to watch the game, and Josh Allen is doing what Josh Allen does, like Mike said, and he's just a great football player, and he came back and actually won the game. Going into this game, Joe Burrow was 8-0 straight up his last 8 games. And
he was
going into this game, I just felt really confident, and I thought 5.5 was a gift.
What'd you say his last 8 games? What was he at?
8-0 straight up.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
Of course, he hadn't played since when? September. So this is going into the 2024 season that this stat came up, and I was confident. I was confident that the Bengals were going to cover stay within the 5.5, which they did. Like I said, just to go back to what Mike said, Mike had a wild ass 3-team parlay that he was playing, but to protect that bet, Mike always goes back to the Seahawks, and he makes a straight bet on the Seahawks, and bam, you don't lose any money.
Didn't lose any this week. Yeah,
no, if you cash a ticket and you only bet 2 tickets, you're either going to make money or you're going to break even. And we did all right.
Yep.
They did all right. Izzy, talk about the Bills. Josh Allen gets it done, overcomes 4 passing touchdowns from Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I completely agree. Josh Allen, he's the Bills' offense in itself. Besides James Cook, when you need him to step up and do things, he'll do it. It just depends on, in my opinion, either how he's feeling that day or how the defense is playing against him. But he's the offense in himself. The biggest thing is that in my opinion, we haven't seen the peak of Josh Allen. Yes, they have had Stephon Diggs, but I think I've been saying it for weeks now. Wait until they get that wide receiver 1. People were like Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman wasn't drafted high. I didn't see him being that great of a receiver, in my personal opinion. But once they get a definitive wide receiver 1 where he could sit back in the pocket and have a guy like somewhat decent of a Jamar Chase, just someone who could get open where he could just rely on him to get open and just give him the ball, teams are going to struggle in the future. But it's a great win. They scored 21 in the fourth quarter. The Bengals put up 13 in the fourth quarter. So, it's just back to that old Bengals defense. Hopefully this doesn't happen in the playoffs. Never mind. I don't think the Bengals are making the playoffs, but say if they were to, then it'd be a whole different story. But, yeah, the Bills, they get a win, much needed team morale boost win. But besides that, the Bengals, I don't think they're in it for the pot anymore. So,
all right. Well, let's move off of the Bills. Let's just keep going down the list. Corner TV game. Vikings put up 31 and blanked the Commanders, Mike Bara.
Yeah. All I got to say about this is, Jaden Daniels is still hurt. He re-injured his elbow. Shouldn't be out there. Time to give up on the season and and play some young guys if you got them. Redskins are one of the oldest teams in the league, if not the oldest. You got to retool. Protect Jaden Daniels. Okay, just let Marcus Mariota start. You get a 3rd-round pick back in compensation, maybe if somebody pays him some good money next year. He goes to another team. Just forget it. And JJ McCarthy could have been worse, but he did okay.
3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That was pretty good.
Yeah, but again, only 163 yards. This is what I felt about him coming out of college. He just didn't make enough plays. So, I don't think he's ever going to be a top flight quarterback. But I think some team is going to make good use of him as a serviceable, below average starter. That's what he's going to be, and he had a good game. So,
were you going to make a Mendoza line reference?
Well, I was thinking the 15th, about that top 15, bottom 15.
The Mason Dixon line, the Mendoza line.
Wait, Mike, that's what you think Fernando Mendoza is?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. The Mendoza line is going to mean something different now moving forward in the NFL.
Yeah.
That kid showed some moxie. Jim, what did you take away from this Vikings annihilation?
Yeah, this game didn't make a lot of sense as far as the point spread was concerned. The game opened at 1.5 Vikings, and when they announced Daniels was going to play, the number didn't move. So the Racing Sports folks weren't really panicking, knowing that this was going to be one of the corner TV games of the week, which it was. I mean, it was just a blowout, 31-0. Redskins just a miserable road team. 1-9 against the spread, their last 10 road games. So, if in fact, when we went on our picks of the week, I went back in the game picker, and I changed it before it was too late. I went ahead and went Vikings on this, but did I play the game? No, I didn't play the game. You don't need the game. It's not one of those games that you want to bet. There's too many other good games to bet. This was not one.
Izzy, Vikings blew them out. JJ, 3 touchdowns, no stupid mistakes.
Yeah, 16 for 23, 3 touchdowns. I mean, like I say it, some of these quarterbacks, some of these teams, they got talent surrounded around them. In my opinion, I don't stand for any kind of mediocrity like that. And if I was a head coach and you're not doing something with the offense that's bestowed upon you, then there's a problem. And 160 yards and a 31-0 blowout, I mean, that's congrats to the team. But Jaden Daniels, he shouldn't be out there. He shouldn't be playing. There's no reason he should be – literally no reason. Marcus Mariota is serviceable. But the Commanders are old. The general manager believes we're going to go out, get all these guys, old guys out on defense, and we're going to match up against the young guys. And that's just not how it works. So I don't want to bash Dan Quinn that much, but, yeah, I mean, they lost the Vikings. It's that simple.
Well, the Jets lost to the Dolphins. I believe this was a weather-related game, Mike, when we were discussing this matchup last. Oh, there you go. There's the official Redskins helmet. Nice.
I was told that
they couldn't play in cold weather.
That Tua Tag couldn't play in weather below 40 degrees or whatever.
I'd hear that.
And I bet accordingly. And this is what I get for listening to other people.
I think Tua got a little help from a country that's not around here, but that's a question for another day.
Yeah. Bottom line, look.
Oh, wait, hold on. I missed it. Wait, Tua got help from a country. What did you say? What was that?
No, it's a comment. Some of the kids on TikTok. It was an interview a while ago. They asked Tua, where would you like to play, and he said Tel Aviv. And after that, he hasn't lost a game. So.
And they're like, he must have had another concussion.
I had no idea he was a Hawaiian Jew, but here we are. Tua Tag, played well enough. Look, this game was the Dolphins from the outset.
they are physically superior to the Jets, and they imposed that, and the weather didn't bother them. So that's all I got to say about it. It blew my ticket up real early on Sunday.
And they got 92 yards from a chain and 107 yards from Jalen Wright. That's a two-headed beast right there. You knew they were going to be trouble when they got settled in, Jim. But yeah, they tripled up your boys in New York and threw a monkey wrench into the betting trends last week, huh?
Yeah, well, the two is going into this game 1-10 straight up when the temperature is under 50 degrees. And I believe the temperature was nearing the 20s going into this game. Tyrod 7-0-1 against the spread, playing for the Jets. Now he's 7-1-1 against the spread. This game, Mike's pointing fingers at somebody, but this game just didn't go the way all the numbers crunched. It just screamed Jets, but I think the bottom line and probably a footnote to this game is the Jets are ass.
Izzy, do you concur? The Jets are ass?
Oh, wow. I never knew that. But, yeah, they are. Who they had? Brian Cook. I don't know who that is. Cook at quarterback, 2 interceptions. But, yeah. I mean, Tua, he didn't have a crazy game by any means. But, yeah, the running game, they just showed superior. I mean, when you lose a guy like Quentin Williams on the D-line, that's going to happen. And they lost 34-10. I mean, it's not much more the New York Jets could do. I mean, they won 3 games, but it's going to be hard for them to try to salvage some picks if some teams are trying to tank. So, or higher draft capital this year, depending on what they're trying to do. But,
Yeah,
I mean, they lost by the running game.
Just a footnote again, the Jets are now 2-8 straight up against the Dolphins. 2-8.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's no bueno, is it? 2-8.
No.
All right. Well, it did recalibrate a little bit after the game, of course. Let's move on to another one. This was maybe even more surprising than what happened over with the Jets game. Baker and the boys. I mean, is Baker injured, Mike, or like how did the Buccaneers lose to the Aints? Is it Tyler Stuck, his ascension, or
again?
Buccaneers
have playoff tiebreaker on the Seahawks, so I'm fine with this. They're a beat up team. Baker's beat up, and it's affecting his play. Only 122 yards, and every so often, a shitty team rears its ugly head and really comes together and plays a great game. And I think it's just the buzzsaw that Tampa ran into this week. Just sort of a confluence of events that just led to a victory for the Saints. Happens pretty much to every team at least once a year.
Jim.
Yeah, the game opened at Buccaneers -8.5, probably the second highest number of the week, off the board. Just to let everybody know, I mean, the Saints play the Buccaneers really tough. It's a division game. They're familiar with them. Saints are now 4-2 straight up versus the Buccaneers in Tampa. So they know how to play Tampa, whether it's Baker or not. They're now 4-2 straight up, without the points. So, going into the game, they were getting 8.5. Mike and I didn't touch this game as far as throwing money at it, but, this was not a playable game at 8.5 points. But, the bottom line is the Saints may be a bad football team, but they're not necessarily a bad football team in division. So be careful with that, betting against the Saints in the division game.
Good point. Izzy.
I mean, yeah, that division is a toss-up. I mean, you got some guys that just don't want to quit while other teams are trying to secure it. And we saw that. I mean, Tyler Shutt, that rushing touchdown, it destroyed him. But yes, supposedly Baker Mayfield is playing with a injured shoulder, whatever you want to call it. But 14 for 30, a touchdown, and interception, 122. Trying to ride out Bucky Irvin, but you can't lose a game like that. You can't lose a game like that, and that just proves that the Buccaneers, even if they do make the playoffs, don't expect anything crazy from them with Mike Evans back as well. And who's leading the division now? Is it the Panthers now, or is it still the Buccaneers?
Yeah, Bucks are up by a tiebreaker, tied at 7-6 with the Panthers.
Okay. But yeah,
Panthers are tied for first place.
Yeah, 7-6. But look, their quarterback Bryce Young, he's had a couple of really nice games this year, mixed in with mediocre and shitty.
Yeah,
really nice.
I want to say we'll get into that, but yeah, whoever plays the Panthers or the Bucks, hey, you better hope you be happy. You better hope they're not on their A game, but call it what it is. So yeah, I mean it's a whatever game in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, they were on they had a bye week this week, so we can't really talk about them. Let's talk about this game here with the injured quarterback. Obviously, we talked about the Colts in free fall mode, and now that Danny Dimes is injured, we don't need to belabor that point much further. But huge win for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who doggone it, keep flipping winning. We have their first round draft pick. They were a fifth overall team. They were the fifth worst team in the league last year, and now they're 9-4. Man, it's looking like we got fleeced on that first round.
9-4 without the guy they traded up for.
Travis Hunter. He's been out for half the season.
Without him. So
exactly.
Good, solid football team. Trevor Lawrence is playing much better since Izzy ripped him a new one. But who knows what would have happened in this game if Daniel Jones.
You know what, Mike? How funny would it be if Trevor Lawrence is he'll credit, I saw this guy, Ez'Ryel Robinson. He was really he kind of held my feet to the fire.
Ripped on me and it really
my long, luxurious hair and say, how can you do better, Trevor?
I'm sure that's true.
Yeah.
Who knows what would have happened if Daniel Jones had come into this game healthy or not torn his Achilles, but his season's over. I don't see how the Colts hold up. I don't think Phillip Rivers is the answer. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
Well, I mean, he's 44 and he's coming off the couch with 35 kids. He probably just wants the break from his kids.
Yeah.
Again, I'll go
have
get my 300-pound lineman. Get me away from these kids.
If you have 9 kids, you're not a family man. You're a weirdo. Okay? He's a weirdo.
Or he's viral. He's super viral. Maybe he could be a guest on your TMT show. He's got all the masculinity.
I don't think so. Anyway, Jags look like they're going to win the division. So that's kind of the way it's going to go.
Jim, are they going to win the division, do you think?
Kansas
City's eliminated. First time in a long time, 8
From
years.
winning the division, not from the playoffs.
Yeah, in division.
Yeah.
AFC South. Yeah, that looks like
I guess West and
what's
South.
going to happen since Indiana Jones isn't in the picture anymore. And this was the second. This was the second ticket we cashed last week. I think I'm betting. I'm going back to betting single game. No more parlays the rest of the year. The single straight bet is going to be the way to go the rest of the year. Very profitable game. Going into the game, Jaguars were 10-0. This doesn't seem conceivable. I went back and actually checked the numbers. 10-0 against the spread. 10-0 straight up at home against the Colts. I mean, this was gift wrapped. I mean, my second biggest bet went on this game, and needless to say, we cashed. Colts were 7-2 against the spread against the AFC going into this game, but that's not necessarily within division. Jaguars 6-1 against the spread as a home dog. So the Colts going into this game favored by 1.5. I couldn't figure how they figured a Colts minus 1.5, knowing that Indiana Jones had a bone fracture in his leg.
Yeah, on the road, bone fracture.
Yeah. So now, now they get,
to be fair, the
they
Colts
get the
looked sort of unbeatable most of the year.
Yeah, now they get
the pickups, but
now they get to travel to Seattle this week. That spread opened to 12.5. We'll get into that on Thursday.
Yeah.
And that was immediately bet up to 13.5. So that's
Yeah.
that's going to be the big number of the week is Colts at Seattle, and that, what are they doing? They're trouting out Riley Leonard.
Well, I think Riley Leonard's hurt now, right?
Yes. Riley Leonard has a knee injury.
That's insane.
Going into this game, and I'll take the 13.5.
Yeah, that might not be the worst play out there. Izzy, the Jaguars, they're playing well. They're playing really well. I hate it because we own their draft pick. I want them to be the worst. Unfortunately, they're fighting for first.
Yeah, the Jaguars, they are playing well.
ETN 2 touchdowns helped my fantasy league.
I'm a big ETN guy. I like him a lot. But yeah, Riley Leonard's hurt. But yeah, unfortunately, Daniel Jones goes down. Jonathan Taylor, without the threat of an actual real quarterback trying to get the ball deep to his playmakers, Jonathan Taylor, you could focus more on the run game, and that'll probably show for the rest of the season. And the Jaguars are playing good. They seem to find a way to get Brian Thompson. I mean, only 3 catches, but for 87 yards, it's not bad. But they're starting to figure it out later on. And the Colts, they're getting bashed up. No Sauce Gardner, no Daniel Jones. So it's just looking all bad for the Colts right now, in my opinion. So
yeah, it's
I don't expect a lot from the playoffs from them anymore. So once they make the playoffs, but as far as winning the division, I mean, I don't know what the Texans' record is, but hey, their defense seems to be legit. So that's my choice. That they're pretty close.
5 right now. Texans.
Yeah, they're right behind. Me personally, I got the Texans coming out with it. So.
All right. Well, you know what, Izzy, we'll just stick with you. We'll mess up the rotation again. You brought up the Texans. We'll stick with them. They doubled up the Kansas City Chiefs. And oh my gosh, was it glorious watching things go poorly for Kansas City for the first time in a long time. Even the refs bail them out. What did you take of this? What did you take away from this or make of this one?
Yeah, but besides the Cowboys losing, I'm pretty happy that the Chiefs lost, the Chargers won, and the Eagles lost. So it's a pretty great day for me.
Eagles game. I got thoughts on that game, but go ahead.
Yeah, but pretty great day for me. Mahomes throws 3 interceptions. Wow, 19 QBR, 160 passing yards, 60 on the ground rushing. But the Texans defense, like I said, hey, CJ Stroud, he's not looking to be himself. I don't know, maybe if they had Davis Mills out there, they put up a couple more points. But for them to only score 20 points against the Chiefs and hold them to 10, that's how you win. That's how you win a game, and that's how if you lead in playoffs that way, that's how you win a playoff game. Just limit the other team points and hope that you get enough more than them. So Woody Marks with 26 carries, 70 rushing yards. Nico Collins, 121, looking like Nico with CJ out there. So, hey, in my opinion, the Chiefs season it seems to be done within their division. So, yeah, I mean that's my thoughts on the game. I don't think Mahomes is bad in any remarks. It's just a tough defense, and he couldn't get the job done like how he used to. So,
according to Grok, who can hallucinate sometimes, so take AI with a grain of salt. But they're saying Patrick Mahomes' lowest career QBR was December 7, 2025 against Houston. And they said that his recent 2025 games against Houston, Philadelphia, and Buffalo rank amongst his top 5 worst ever, Mike. So this is a bit of a trend for Kansas City, corkscrewing into the ground. I don't know if it's just they paid him so much money they can't have nice things around him anymore, or they're aging like Kelsey.
That is so overrated because you can still draft well. I mean, every year there are Pro Bowl level players, if not Hall of Fame level players, taken in the 2nd and 3rd, and sometimes even the 5th, 6th, and 7th round. Right? These guys. So if you know what you're doing in the draft. And
by the way, the Cleveland Browns got about 4, 5, or 6 of them in last year's draft.
Yeah,
the best draft of all time. We're in the top. We're thinking it could be in their list.
One thing you can do if you have a quarterback on a rookie contract, for instance, is you can sign free agents and make something. But how often do those things work out? Not very often. So that's a false narrative. The Chiefs just stuck with it a little too long, and they need to retool or rebuild. And they're going to go through it. And, that's just what they've got to do. I mean, Travis Kelce, got his ass kicked, got busted. That ain't just go off and get screamed at by Taylor Swift for the rest of your life, Mr. Pfizer, because your football career is over. And I want to know this though: has Travis Kelce played himself out of the Hall of Fame?
Oh no! Stop it! Stop.
Yeah,
First
it's
ballot.
ridiculous. Just as it's ridiculous for Russell Wilson. But anyway, C.J. Stroud did enough. But remember, we were talking about D'Amico Ryans maybe not making it through the end of the season.
Yeah,
he's got that team back. They're playing great defense.
that defense is tough.
CJ still doesn't look good to me. I mean, there was one throw where he had a guy wide open about 30 yards downfield, threw it a mile over his head. His footwork was terrible. He was flat-footed. He needs a really good quarterback coach. He needs somebody that can remind him to stay up on his toes, to get his mechanics right. I look at that. You don't have a great offensive line. You don't have great weapons, but there's a lot to be coached up in C.J. Stroud to make him an elite quarterback like he was in his rookie season. Yeah. So there's some work to be done there. But, other than that, I mean, there was a couple throws where it's like his feet were he just was flat-footing the ball, and that's when it's going to sail on you. So hopefully they can get that fixed. But the Texans, look like they might sneak out that division. We'll see.
I mean, it's going to be a dogfight in the AFC. There's a lot of teams that are similarly balanced, similarly strong. I mean, do you have the barn burners fighting for a undefeated season or a one-loss team? You got a lot of very good teams battling it out, Jim. But I mean, did you anticipate this? The Chiefs getting doubled up by the Texans?
Yeah, this, like Mike said, this ain't your daddy's Kels. I mean, he had at least 3 drops in this game. I mean, and as big as a human being he is, I mean, he had his hands clearly on the ball, at least 2 of the 3 of those catches, and he just mishandled it. I mean, he dropped it, or he wasn't looking the ball in, and he was anticipating running prior to catching the ball. And the thing that I took away from this game, and especially this time of the year, you have to look at dome football teams, particularly football teams that play in the Deep South, like Houston does. And I didn't expect Houston to come out and play as tough as they did. Going into this game, 29 degrees at kickoff, and I just thought the home field advantage was just outstanding in this game. I didn't play the game, and I don't think Mike played the game either.
No.
But I wasn't going to make a pick in this game as far as putting any money down. But the Texans showed me that they can play football in cold weather, and that's where the rubber meets the road this time of season, especially going into the playoffs.
And it's so loud over there too. I mean, like that's not just the coldness.
Yeah, and I think between them, and if the Jaguars get into the playoffs, I think the Texans are going to be the stronger football team, because the Jags don't particularly play well when it's snowing outside. And if they have to go on the road during the playoffs, I think the Texans are probably going to be the better football team to represent that division.
Yeah, you might ultimately be true about that for sure. Broncos get the win. Close game. Mike, you said you had a lot to say about this. Denver improves to 11. Okay, I said the one-loss team. They're 11-2. Maybe they're the crappiest 11-2 team of all time, but they get the win and they invert the 2-11 Las Vegas Raiders 24-17.
I'd like to show the clip of Dave Portnoy's meltdown.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, I saw that. That's good.
Which let's get. Or actually, what I want to do is I want to do Jason Whitlock's.
Do you want me to get Izzy's take while you pull up some files?
Sure. Well, I'm just going to pull it up and share it here in a second. But this will illustrate for you. This game to me is it's the clearest example, I think, of point shaving, game fixing.
That's called prima facie evidence, Mike.
Yeah, prima facie evidence. So let me just share this, and then and I want to watch. It's about 2 minutes, but I think it's worth watching because this is beyond the pale, beyond the pale. So
all right, let me pull this up here.
This is Jason Whitlock showing Portnoy's meltdown.
No, wait. Before I do though, it's not showing the plays, is it? Because it'll get our show kicked off.
It is. It won't get our show kicked off. Other people
will. It will. Anything NFL clips, it grabs it and it slices and dices it.
It's going to be Portnoy. We're going to show it from a distance, little tiny screen.
Well, here, let me switch it so that it's barely down. We mainly want to hear what he has to say, right?
Well, yeah.
We need this entire segment investigated by the NFL. 3rd and 3, there's 24 seconds. The spread is Denver minus 8.5. They were up 24-7, by the way, with like 2 minutes to go. He spikes the ball. Why are you spiking the ball with 16 seconds in a 10-point game?
Exactly.
It's beyond me. The
Exactly.
game is over. I don't know that I've ever seen a spike in that situation. But we're just starting, boys and girls. We're just starting to get. Now, I want you to watch
Mike, can you pause it there for a second?
Because he's going to roll out, throw a pass.
Yeah.
Okay, you jumped in and you said, yeah. So comment on that first part.
Well, the game's over. It's a 10-point lead for the Broncos with 16 seconds left. And you're not going to score twice in 16 seconds. You're not probably going to score once in 16 seconds. But you're playing. I mean, I understand not quitting, but the game's over. Everybody knows the game is over. So he spikes the ball to save a timeout for no reason. You're not going to win the game. You're not coming back from this game. So what exactly are you playing for here, Pete Carroll? Let's go forward.
The clock should run out. They can't get up to spike it. They can't even, to be honest, get close.
Oops. Okay.
To be honest, get close. Pete Carroll, you're a piece of shit. Pete Carroll is one of the great scumbags. I would honestly punch Pete Carroll right in his fucking old fucking face if I saw him. So, all right, here we go. 16 seconds. Raiders are definitely cheating right now, doing whatever. Big money clearly on the Raiders, plus the points. So they throw down here. There's 9, 8. Watch. He gets up. They call that a delay of game. There's 4 seconds. The game is fucking over. What is that flag? By the way, we're going to rewind it. Jones didn't even fucking do anything. The receiver fucking grabbed him. Watch this. Watch this play again.
At the top of your screen.
So this is a pass to Tyler Lockett. They get down.
We're going to call this delay a game on the defense with 12 seconds left. They call this. He's down. He gets up and gets fucking. You call that delay a game when the game is over? Dude, what do you?
So here's the next point. Why did the referee call delay of game? He holds him down a little bit, not enough to call it, but he calls it anyway and stops the clock, giving the Raiders 4 seconds. Why does the ref do that? If the ref just swallows his whistle, which is what Portnoy is about to say, if the ref swallows his whistle, 4 seconds run off and the game is over and everybody goes home and gets a nice hot shower. But again, let's just keep going.
I've seen that 1,000 times worse. It's 4, 3, 2, 1. Go home. Game's over.
Yep.
And then Pete Carroll runs out the field goal unit and kicks a field goal to end the game with no time. This guy, prison. This ref, prison. Pete Carroll, prison. NFL, prison. This is the most rigged game I've ever seen in my entire life. Disgusting. Fucking prison.
Okay, so then with 4 seconds left, with no hope of winning the game, none, with 4 seconds left, Pete Carroll runs the field goal unit out to kick a field goal, which just happens to beat the spread of 8.5, making it 24-17, a 7-point spread. If he just lets the clock run, if the ref doesn't call the penalty, if they just let the clock run, guess what? Everybody who bet on the Broncos and gives the points wins their bet. There's no explanation for this. Pete tried to say later on, he tried to say that, oh, well, we were going to kick the field goal and then try an onside kick. You can't, with 4 seconds left, it takes 4 seconds to kick the ball. The game's over. Everybody knows the game is over.
Yeah.
So what is the motivation? To lose by 7 instead of losing by 8.5 or 9? Yes, because that's it. And if you're going to say, oh, okay, well, we're just being men and we're not going to quit till the last whistle, then you try to throw it, then you try to go for a touchdown. If you're trying to make the score more respectable for some reason. You
All right, well, really quick, I just want to say to Dave Portnoy, where was that prison talk when your cheating team up north was stealing signs and getting the biggest fake asterisk fake championship in college football history, you punk?
Yep.
But to be fair, like there's weird stuff going on in the NFL. There's no doubt about it. And it's not just the NFL. It's the Cleveland Indians, 2 pitchers shaving points or pitching balls and strikes and all the prop bets.
Yeah.
Jim, this gambling thing is all over the place right now. How rotten do you think it is?
This is the reason why it took Las Vegas, since they started lobbying, 20 to 25 years
to get teams,
get an NFL team into Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, and Izzy may remember this, Izzy was probably a little boy when this happened, but when Tony Romo played quarterback for the Cowboys, he came to Vegas on a helmet signing convention that was connected with Caesar's Palace. And he was at Caesar's Palace, and he was approached by the NFL and was told to walk away. You're not doing this because it's in Vegas.
Oh.
He made a Vegas trip to do this for a helmet signing or a jersey signing, or he was endorsing, some other thing that had to do with Las Vegas. And they said, no, Tony, you're not doing this. One thing that Dave Portnoy did not address, guys, what was the over-under in this game? Not so much the point spread and the hook on the 7. The over-under in this game was 40.5, and it didn't move all week. And the game total was what? 41.
Oh, man.
That's more prima facie evidence. So you can look at the side, which was 7.5, which didn't move all week, and you look at the total, which was 41.5, or the total was 40.5. Well, the number hit on 41.
I was in Vegas in like 2005 at the Palms, and I sat down at a blackjack table with Rex Grossman, it must have been 06 or 07.
Super Bowl quarterback.
The backup quarterback was then the backup quarterback for the Bears.
Super Bowl
they had given up
quarterback.
on him, and it was 07 or 08, I guess now. And I said, "Hey Rex, what's going on, man? Hasselback's getting older. You should come on out and you're a free agent next year. You should come out and sign with my Seahawks because I liked him. I thought he had some moxie, right?" And he said, "Yeah, well, we can't talk about that. And by the way, could you not post anything on social media because I'm not supposed to be here or I'm not allowed to be here," he said. So like you said, what you're saying, Jim, is absolutely correct. That was 18 years ago.
Not allowed to be there?
He said, "I'm not allowed to be here." He was basically there under the radar.
Was that because he had done something that made him into a program for gambling, or just
no
players?
That's how seriously the NFL took not having not wanting to be soiled by the specter of gambling. And now look at us. And what the fuck, Jim? I mean, I can't think of any explanation for why you kick a field goal with that.
No, you can argue that the side total at 7.5, and again, you had the hook on the 7 all week, 7.5, and you're right. If the Raiders go ahead and are allowed to kick that field goal, or if they just happen to kick it, knowing that they're not going to win the game, they're putting a number up, and it's not a number that they're trying to compile to have a a tie split, like they're going to go to the playoffs, and they've got that tiebreaker.
It serves no purpose in
Right,
any
it serves no
context
purpose.
except gambling.
They're
Except
not in a
gambling.
tiebreaker situation to where they need those points on the board. So that doesn't make sense. But the fact that the over-under was 40.5 all week, and the number just happened to hit on 41 once they put the ball through the uprights, prima facie evidence, my friend.
Yep. Spoken like a former cop.
Izzy, thoughts on this one? On mute.
I just picked up a new vocabulary word I can use in the future. Thanks, guys. But yeah, I mean, as much as betting, so there was a parlay that I put in like 3 weeks ago. It was I forgot what game it was. It was the Buccaneers. They were playing someone. It was like a player prop though. It was Baker Mayfield to get X amount of passing attempts. It's the fourth quarter. They're driving. I think they're down by like 10 or 14 or something like that. He's getting there, and then he gets the passing attempt over on 30, whatever, and he gets it, but it gets called back because it was he threw a pick, but then it was roughing the passer on Joey Bosa. So the passing attempt gets erased. So I'm like, okay, it's whatever. The pick, they still have a chance. They have 3 timeouts. 3 timeouts go. They get the ball back. They punt. They can go score a touchdown or get an onside or do whatever. And they get the ball back, and Teddy Bridgewater comes in the game. And I'm like, whoa, what just happened? And then Teddy Bridgewater came in and nailed the ball down. I'm like, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, as much as for that game, I mean, I wasn't expecting the Raiders to win, but yeah, I do see that pretty fishy as why are you putting the field goal unit out there? I mean, 4 seconds left, like you said, he tried playing it off, saying, "Oh, we're gonna go field goal unit, try an onside kick." Like, you don't have enough time for that. So, I mean, I'm getting new to this. I mean, I'm just figuring it out. Some of the gambling and all that stuff, all the stuff that's happening. But I mean, the way y'all put it out to me, what did you say that the evidence was called? I mean, it was pretty much there.
Prima facie.
Hyperfacia, yeah. I mean,
Prima facie.
Prima facie, yeah. It seems like it was there under your guys' standpoint.
Jim, it's Latin for on the face of it as an expression, right? On the face of it.
Yeah, like on face value.
On face value.
It's right.
On the face, yes.
But yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's my take.
It's indisputable. Yeah. Wow.
All right. Well, let's move on from that game, and we're watching all the weird. Oh wait, how much was Kenny Pickett playing in this game? Okay, he played quite a bit. Well, half the game or close to it. 1 touchdown, no mistakes.
Yeah, Gino got beat up again. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll root for Kenny Pickett. Why not? Okay, Packers beat the Bears. We were all sort of high on the Bears, and Packers took care of business, Mike.
Well, I mean, you can look at it that way. Jordan Love had a better game. He's gotten back into form. Only 234 yards. Not a big day throwing the ball, but big enough. And the Bears, Caleb continues to make plays when he has to keep the team in the game. Came down to the last play, basically in overtime, right? Or no? Yeah. And threw the ball away. Sorry, not in overtime, but threw the ball a little short and got picked. But, I still think his future is bright. And I'm glad the Bears lost because now the Seahawks and the Rams are fighting it out for the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. So, it's just it's going to be a tough fight all the way to the end. Both teams are good. That's all you got to say about it.
Jim.
Yeah. Well, Packers continue to own the Bears, whether Rodgers is playing for them or not. That was Rodgers' big mantra, I own you guys. The Packers now 12-1 straight up versus the Bears, the last 13 games they've played. Packers 20-5 straight up in December and January in the regular season. They're just a real strong team when it starts getting cold outside. And I didn't play this game. I don't think Mike played the game either. But
No.
Put a revolver to our head. We have to take the Packers in this situation.
Izzy, did it surprise you? Or the Packers are good because they got Micah Parsons, your boy, your former boy?
I mean, it's a. They won right out. The last play was a bit questionable. I mean, that comes with experience. Him throwing that ball, he had two receivers, a linebacker in between. One of them, I think, DJ Moore ran up a couple more yards, but the ball was already out of Caleb Williams' hands for the interception. But I mean, hey, they're battling for the division, and the Packers that they stacked up 4 or 5 division wins now, and that's good for them, especially with that tie they have with the Cowboys. So. They could see a way to come through with it. I don't know how much more it affected the Cowboys' chances of making the playoffs with them winning that, but either way, we lost. I mean, we tied with them and then lost to the Bears, so I don't think it matters that much. But I mean, yeah, Jordan Love, he showed flag. I mean, he played better than Caleb Williams at the end of the day. And teams like that, it really depends on what quarterback plays better that day. And Jordan Love did that, so the Packers won.
Jim?
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Packers Bears?
Yeah. I just gave you everything I had. As far as my feeling on the game, I just said that Mike and I, we didn't play this game at all. But
okay, I'm sorry.
If we were to make a pick, we would go ahead and take the Packers and lay the 6.5.
All right. Any final thoughts on this one?
Nope.
All right. Let's keep it going. Yeah, Jordan Love, he's one of my fantasy quarterbacks. I got to figure out Jordan Love, or do I play him or Joe Burrow? That's more of an interesting question than you'd think. Rams took care of business, Mike. They improved to 10-3 on the year. Arizona drops to 3-10, the opposite. Stafford just continues having a great season.
Yeah, nothing much to say. Championship
Blake
caliber.
Corum with a good game. We could say that. 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, championship caliber teams go in and beat the shit out of bad teams near the end of the season when they're making a Super Bowl run. And the Rams are right there. So that's all I got to say about it. The better team won, and they took care of their business and looked great doing it.
Jim?
Yeah, this was the 5th straight bet that I made since I had done well in the morning. I went ahead and doubled down and took the Rams in the afternoon. The game opened at 8.5. It went to 9.5. I didn't have a problem even laying the 9.5. Rams 9-1 against the spread as a road favorite. 5-1 straight up in Tempe, playing the Cardinals. This, it just looked like a gift. Stafford, as mentioned before, 15-2 straight up in December and January. So Stafford is a strong end of the season quarterback for the Rams. So this was a game to bet. It just looked like a gift, even at 9.5. Bet the game, cash the ticket.
Izzy, bet the game, cash the ticket, buy the ticket, take the ride. You're not surprised by this. This is your backyard. It's your home team.
Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals are butt trash, but the Michael Wilson, he plays really good out there that way. I think he had 100-something yards again.
142 and 2 touchdowns, yeah.
Yep, and he averages 120 yards without Marvin Harrison on the field. So take that into account. But, yeah, I mean, you expect the Rams to win. I mean, Matthew Stafford played good. Super Bowl caliber team has to do Super Bowl caliber stuff towards the end of the season, like Mike said. And, well win, especially bouncing back off the loss to the Panthers. It's a way to do it.
Yeah, Puka Nacua, another 2 touchdowns, 7 receptions, 167 yards, having a great year as well. I think we only have one game left here. We covered them all except for this one that happened yesterday. This is a good one. It was an overtime game. It was low scoring, but it was a good game. And by the way, it set history. Jalen Hurts did something nobody's ever done in recorded NFL history. Mike, you want to tell us about it? Because I started Jalen Hurts in my dynasty league. 4 turnovers. What is happening?
2 turnovers on the same play. The guy who intercepts and fumbles the ball. Jalen Hurts gets it back, and then he fumbles the ball. Oh my God. That's horrible. Look, the Eagles are 90%, something like that, to make the playoffs. But They didn't look that great last night. They lost 5 games now. The Chargers aren't very good, but they were good enough to beat the Eagles at home, even with an injured Justin Hebert. Don't know what to say about it other than that. I'm glad the Eagles lost because it helps the Seahawks guarantee that they're going to get into the playoffs, which I think they should be able to clinch it this weekend. I think the Seahawks can clinch a playoff spot this weekend. So there we are. And, I don't have a lot to say about it. The Eagles were not quite themselves. They didn't have Jalen Carter. And it's just one of those weird late season games. So many turnovers. Not much to say about it.
Kamani Vidal's
I'm glad the AFC team won.
Yeah.
Help the Seahawks. That's all there is to it.
Kamani Vidal's filled in okay over the past, couple months with the injuries at running back. Omarion Hampton, it's nice to see him back there. And Saquon didn't do a ton except for that 52-yard pitch, shovel, misdirection burst for a touchdown. Otherwise, take that one play away, it would have been a boring game. But
yeah, that is one other thing. Saquon looks a lot more like Sagan. I mean, he had 122 yards, but he just doesn't seem explosive anymore. He just doesn't. To me, does anybody else agree with me? Or
I just think something is unexplosive about the whole offense. I'm seeing it from every position, not just him. Dallas Goedert is pretty consistent.
The offensive line.
Huh?
It's their offensive line.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're Lane Johnson, right?
There's no holes. The Lane Johnson number,
no lanes without Lane Johnson.
The Lane Johnson number got better. It's now Hurts is 5 and 12 straight up without Lane Johnson.
Okay.
That number keeps going up. I think it's 3 games now without Lane Johnson. And they lose every game. And Jason Kels was doing the halftime last night, at the game. And there was rumor going around that Howie Roseman was lobbing in phone calls to Jason Kels, to see if he wants to come back and play the offensive line.
No.
But seeing him sitting next to Marcus Spears, Mr. Kels has lost a lot of weight.
Well, if you ever seen Joe Thomas now?
Joe
Thomas
for the Browns.
Recently, he took off 100-something pounds, I think.
Yeah, gold jacket. Thomas.
Yeah, nice trim cut on him. He used to be a big boy. Now he's not. Is he? How much should the Eagles be panicking? I'm sure you're not losing any sleep over your bitter rivals having some struggles at all. But
man, I'm sleeping like a baby. I'm so happy. They've been losing, and it's helping our playoff chances because the main way it's looking is like we're gonna have to try to figure out a way to win the division. I don't know if that happens or not if the Eagles keep losing, but we got some easy games coming up. But the fans have been mad. They just came off a Super Bowl win, but a lot of Eagles fans have been mad. Oh my gosh, we are not doing this. We're not doing that. And respectively, you want to see your team perform to the highest of their capability, and they're just not doing that. And Jalen Hurts, he played horrible. 3 turnovers. I saw there was a stat. If Jalen Hurts were to spike the ball every play of the game, he would have had a better QBR than what he had to finish the game, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, but your absence would be better than your presence. That's literally exactly. Your absence would be better than your presence.
And what's 4 interceptions? 3, and I don't see them doing that well. The O-line, in my opinion, O-line is a big thing, and the O-line's not producing. Saquon, you could say, oh yeah, by the numbers, but that one touchdown he got was they faked him out. They thought it was going to be a tush push handoff, and he took it to the house. What do you expect from that?
And by the way, that's perfect that you mentioned that and drilled down on that one particular play. That's exactly what the Stefanski 2-point conversion was supposed to be. I think Quinshawn forgot the play because he was wide open for the pitch and he had it timed wrong and he forgot to. And they asked Stefanski about it. What did you do? Why didn't you? He goes, I'm not going to get into that, but it's not exactly how we drew it. He didn't throw Quinshawn under the bus, but he's like, damn it, Sean. It was going to be the same.
And Brian, that's exactly why you put the quarterback in the game for the 2-point conversion. You don't dilly-dally with stuff that some players don't know how to run with the game on the line. And guess what? I guess the quarterback would know how to run that. But, yeah, back on the Eagles, hey, man, they better start winning some games because I think the Cowboys, we play the Chargers. Well, we got a pretty decently easy schedule for our offense coming up. So, yeah, I mean, they better start winning if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. So.
Yeah, it's crunch time, fellas. We are winding down to the playoff season, and I'm excited for it. All right, well, those are all the games from last week. We're gonna get together, gentlemen. Did we decide 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock?
We decided on Thursday. I have the day open pretty much at this point, so let me know what time. I'll be
3 p.m. Eastern time.
3
Does
p.m.
that work
Eastern.
for everyone? Raise your hand if 3 p.m. Eastern is good.
Noon.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Yes, we'll do 3 p.m. Eastern time, noon Pacific for Strictly Football Thursday. We're going to do betting trends and I look forward to all the games this weekend. Before we go, just any quick thoughts on what we saw with college football, the conference championship games, obviously Indiana, Ohio State, or any of the other ancillary games, Mr. Mike?
My biggest thing is
Mr. Mike, hold on.
Oh, me? I get to go first? Okay.
Sure,
well, I guess you and I started the show, so why don't I?
Yeah.
But this is why conference championship games are stupid, just like conference basketball championship tournaments are stupid. Why did you even play the season if your champion is going to be decided by the fucking tournament? That doesn't make any sense in basketball. Doesn't make any sense in football. 2 best teams in the country should have not played until the national championship game, Indiana and Ohio State. Sorry about Ohio State, but they play again. It's going to be another typical tough game, and Notre Dame got screwed. I know.
Playoffs? Don't
No
talk
playoffs
about
for Notre Dame.
playoffs.
None for the Fighting Irish, Jim. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Jim Moore, not Jim Mitchell.
Yeah. Notre Dame got screwed, except that they lost to Miami head to head. And I cannot sit here and tell you, I'm the guy who argues that in 1993, it was absolute bullshit that Notre Dame lost the national championship to Florida State because a bunch of fucking sports writers wanted to give a national championship to Bobby fucking Bowden in Florida. Cool, it's his turn. Even though Notre Dame had beaten straight up Florida State. Both teams were 11-1. Both teams won their bowl game impressively. And guess what? 1-1, Notre Dame beat Florida State. They should have been the national champions that year. I got to apply the same rule here. I think Notre Dame got screwed. It should have been in instead of some other teams. But Miami beat them. So there you go.
Yeah,
So,
it gets weird with James Madison and some of these random schools.
Tulane.
yeah, come on.
Tulane.
How can they be in and Notre Dame is not in? How college football do you make the system worse by expanding the playoffs?
My question about Notre Dame though aren't they like in their own like singular conference?
Yeah, they
shouldn't they join like the Big 12 or Big 10 or whatever?
They
So
went-
actually,
They went independent a couple of years ago.
yeah, they only have like
Big
what
East.
2 people in their conference. I mean, me personally, if they want to get in that way, join a legitimate conference. Put it that way.
Get
Yeah,
rid of the conferences. Go back to the old system. Southeast Conference, Southwest Conference, Big Sky, Pacific 12, Big 10, Big 8. Let's go back to the old system that we had before.
I mean, Big 10 with 18 schools, like it just doesn't make any sense. Whatever it is, like I don't know. What in the world are USC and Oregon,
And Washington and
doing?
UCLA doing in the Big
That
10?
makes no sense. Now, maybe if you're going to do a Big 10 east of the Mississippi, Big 10 west of the Mississippi, which makes it the Big 10, 10 and 10 on each side. I don't know, I guess. But, yeah, that Buckeye game hurt. But also, we had nothing to play for. Maybe we don't want to show all of our cards. But we missed a field goal. We had the 4th down, tush push, called a first down. They reviewed it, and they took the ball away from us at the 4-yard line. We were driving. We left a bunch of opportunities on the field. And, man, on that first play, we almost knocked that quarterback Mendoza out. I mean, I stood up and yelled, no. I'm a Buckeye fan, but I want to see the best that they have. He sucked it up. He manned up, and he played a good enough game, Mendoza, to get it done. But also, Ohio State Buckeyes were getting tackled by 2 people on these plays, and the refs were swallowing the flags. Man, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it.
You drank a big glass of Coke this morning. That's what it sounds like. But I mean, I think I told you I had Indiana winning. Not even hating. That head coach at Indiana, he's really, really, really good. Respect to Fernando, but like I said, that RPO, whatever weird thing they run there, that's what's going to get him. And I'm not so much sure about Fernando translating to the NFL because I haven't seen a lot. But besides that, I just wanted to say Dodgers got better. Edwin Diaz is the best closer in baseball is coming to the Dodgers this year. So
all right. The rich getting richer. Jim's going to start.
And we're in talks of signing Tarek Skubal too.
Oh, kid, I might stop watching baseball if you get Tariq.
It's not their fault. The Mets they could have offered Edwin Diaz, and the Tigers they're shipping Skubal, their best player. They don't want to pay him. It's just being cheap.
Okay. Well, let's pivot here. Mike Bara, tell us about your show tonight and where to find you. And if you have
Toxically Masculine Tuesday in about 2 hours on all these same bat times and bat channels. See you then. News, political analysis, Nick Fuentes. Lots of weird shit. Piers Morgan, dick eating Karen Piers Morgan versus Nick Fuentes. Gay, virgin, Nazi? I don't know what it is, but we're going to talk about that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We're through the looking glass now. Things have gotten officially weird. That's for damn sure.
Right.
Izzy, final thought, and then Jim has a quote. Izzy, final thought?
No final thoughts.
All right. Quote from Jim. He always leaves us with wisdom.
Instead of getting married again or remarried, find a woman you don't like and go buy her a house.
Cut out the middleman. All right, gentlemen, thank you all for being here. We'll be back at 3 p.m. Eastern on Thursday for Strictly Football, looking ahead toward the next week in the NFL. I appreciate you. I love you, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Bye. Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour sports show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.